Welcome aboard, all you wonderful groomers, pet stylists, and canine cosmetologists. You found the Traveling Groomers Podcast, where we discuss lessons learned from mobile and house call grooming. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Bear Anthony. Any moment now, we'll be joined by my co-host and friend, retired mobile groomer and educator extraordinaire, Mary Oquendo, and very likely a special guest to help us chat about all things grooming industry related, and just plain fun digressions that I will totally wrangle back to topic. Grab those travel mugs and climb aboard to see where today's topic will bring us. Let's roll. Hello. And yes, Mary is here, but the only way I get to do this right at the beginning of the episode, we even have a special guest, is to jump in and do it before I forget. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 269, recorded on July 12th and will be airing on July 24th. Hi, Mary. And hi, Kayla.
Hello. I was going to ask you what episode it was.
See? Mary is just studiously ignoring my Beavis and Butthead laugh.
Well, hello, Kayla. How's it going?
Hello. How are you guys? We've lost Chris already.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's not that difficult to do.
Hey, it's not like there's a jellyfish tank for me to get hypnotized by. I just get very easily amused.
Well, I chase squirrels. This is why Amanda calls me Squirrel.
Okay.
Anyway.
So yeah, Kayla, introduce yourself, or Mary, since I believe you just interviewed her for Women Petpreneurs.
Yes, she was. And I think here's the thing, Chris. I think when I reached out to her or she reached out to me, she thought it was Traveling Groomers.
No, wait a second. So
I did know. Okay. I wasn't sure, but then I kind of figured it out.
Wait, so Mary, what you just admitted to on air, so to speak, is poaching guests.
Poaching?
You're like, yeah, somebody contacts you thinking they're going to be on the Traveling Groomers podcast. And you're like, well, I know what podcast comes first in my heart. Boom, Women Petpreneurs.
Well, here's the thing. I'm the host of both.
Well, it was funny because when we got to that part and you were like, oh, you're mobile? I was like, newly. And you're like, crap, we should get you on the other podcast. I'm like, okay. But when you originally had asked me, I was like thinking to myself, well, it's one of two, so we'll see. We'll find out.
Well, 2 of 2. What can I say?
It works.
Okay, so I think based on, well, Kayla is a competitor.
Hello. Yes.
Did you make Groom Team?
I did. So
She's a Groom Team competitor.
Last year it was my first year in Open, and I ranked number 6. So yeah, I got my jacket in Atlanta.
Nice. That's a big deal, isn't it?
Yeah, it was fun.
That's a very big deal. The only problem is I forget when it's there, so I got to cue things up. I'm like, wait, what? Just stop knocking things over.
All right. So I guess Chris and I were talking earlier before you came on about time, about managing time. So as a mobile groomer and as a competitive groomer, you have to make time to go to the shows to compete, correct?
Yes.
How does that work for you?
So, okay. It's been a little bit of a learning curve. Just because this is my first year mobile, but I have to say what I basically have done is looking out throughout the entire year. I don't work weekends anymore. And mobile's awesome for that. So what I basically do is if I don't have a show, either a dog show or a grooming show, I will book myself throughout the week, maybe into the weekend, so that I can afford to take the time off to go wherever it is. This year's been a little more trying to learn other breeds and get myself a little more all-rounded, because I can do poodles, but not a lot of other breeds. But it's been a challenge sometimes, but I find it's a lot easier to move dogs around based on how I'm routing and booking now that I'm kind of on my own and have freedom and wheels.
Well, you know what? That's a really good point, because you know what, we are in charge of our own life, of our own time. Okay, whether or not we manage that well or not, that's totally up to us. I am not looking at Chris at all. At all. But the point being, all right. So I decided a couple of years ago that I was not doing the amount of shows. Not only was I not doing the amount of shows that I was doing, right, I also wasn't going to travel anymore to train instructors for pet first aid. So if somebody wants to learn how to become an instructor for me, they're coming out here to Washington now. Okay. And those are decisions. I mean, sometimes those are the hard decisions you have to make, because your time is valuable. And, you don't want to just, spend it going to an airport, hopping on a plane, coming home, hopping in the mobile van, going to work. And then, doing the same thing over and over again without actually having a life in between. And as much as I love teaching, okay, it's not necessarily my life.
Well, I think you have to make sure you're putting stuff aside for whether it be family or me time or hobbies outside of it too. It's easy to burn out and just kind of go 100 miles an hour and then be overwhelmed. So, that's something else that has definitely been something to consider.
All right. Has been some of those challenges?
So I want to say last year pretty much was, I would work 5 days a week. I would go to a dog show. I'd come home. I'd go to bed. I'd get up the next morning and literally go either back in the van, work 5 days a week, go to a dog show. And I'm kind of paying for it now. So it's
not fun. And I've done the same things with conventions. It's not.
And and I think that was one of the reasons, like this fall, I kind of sat, I thought, like, you know what, I'm missing out on things. Like I live on an island. I don't go to the beach. I don't really get to do a lot outside of it. And I'm, and I think it's hard to go into competitions or trade shows or dog shows and do your best when you're strung out and exhausted. But so going forward this year, basically it was planning out almost as if I was doing most of the shows, because it was a lot easier to say, never mind, I'm already blocked off, but I'm gonna stay home. Hence why I have this weekend off. Yeah. I don't know.
Is there a show this weekend?
There's a dog show in Vermont, and I typically go to it, and I just, there's a little bit of FOMO because I know who's there, and they bring the lobsters, and they do the whole like cookout with all the handlers and people get together. But I got to go with a walk with my 3 dogs and just be in peace, and it was great.
All right, so what island do you live on?
I live in Gloucester, Mass.
Okay.
So if you picture Massachusetts, you get the big hook, but then you have the little hook on top. Mm-hmm. We're on that. I'm on the little top hook. So pretty much it's just beaches. I don't know if I've actually gone to a beach in the on season yet. And I've lived here for 10 years.
What you need to do is play tour guide for a visiting friend, because yes. I live within
You're not far from
practical. No, but I live within sight of New York City, like not out my window, but if I'm on an elevated place nearby or some of my clients, I'm like, oh, look, there's a city. Like I live, dude.
I left my puppy inside this time. She was like eating things.
That was the sound of a very sturdy groomer's wall hitting a table because my dog is a doofus. Anyway, Not even going to edit that out. No, don't care. So, but my point is, I live within spitting distance of Manhattan, and I don't do touristy stuff except when Mindy's by for a conference and we set aside a date, and I'm like, yeah, we'll go into the city and do touristy things. And she's like, I can't believe you live right here and you never do any of it. And I'm like, no, it's the
I think
city.
it's because it's there. It's not, but I think we do that with a lot of things, though. You take advantage, and you're just granted that everything is, if it's in front of you, you don't.
The Lavender Festival is coming up here in Squim. Okay.
Have you been to the Lavender
No,
Festival yet?
I've
Because
not that's a big thing. But no, I have not. I live across the street from a state park, meaning I could walk down the road, walk into the state park, walk down to the beach because it's Squim Bay. And I've probably done that 3 times since I've been here.
Yeah.
Well, my grandson is coming to visit next after Colorado. And so I sent him a bunch of brochures so he could pick what he wants to do. And I picked all the things that I've been meaning to do, I haven't had time to do, or just, I live here. I can do it tomorrow if I want.
Yeah. No, that's true. This is very true. But yeah.
All right. First commercial.
So yes, it is absolutely about that time for the first commercial break, and I had it all queued up, but lost it again. There we go. And speaking of continuing education, because we either were or will be, join the Andis world-class education team each month for live interactive virtual classes. You'll learn new and trending styles, as well as tips and tricks from some of the best groomers in the industry. Whether you're looking for basic skills, trending styles, advanced techniques, or even just ways to spark your creativity, the new Andis grooming education site is your source for finding what you need to create your way for success. Try new techniques, learn from the pros, and grow your confidence today at andis.com/groomer education. Traveling Groomer Podcast listeners, hey, that's you, can get 25% off your first course today with the code VEGROOMING at checkout on andis.com/groomer education. All right.
Yay.
Weren't we just talking about, we were actually just talking about Andis, and I was explaining that my dogs are not super awesome candidates for demo dogs.
Well, when Ricky was around, Ricky was a great demo dog.
Well,
I mean,
Ricky was Ricky.
And Spirit too. They just had that demeanor. They're like, yeah, do whatever you want. We're good. My current crew of dogs, I can feel for you, Chris, because I would never take these dogs to a trade.
that's like the saying, not every pony can be a Pegasus.
Yeah.
But they're still cute. We love them.
Yeah, no. Cecil would be, depending on his mood, either the most loving dog or Cujo in a little package.
Which way is the wind blowing?
Well, and here's the thing too, right? Because he's got cataracts, he won't do the stairs anymore. So what means I have to pick him up and bring him down the stairs. And sometimes he's like, I got to go downstairs, but I don't want you to pick me up. I want to like float down on my own.
Aww.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah. And then there's Pooh Bear. Which goes
I've
without.
never actually seen Pooh Bear. I've just heard of this Pooh Bear.
So Pooh Bear?
Oh, now you get to see
I know Pooh Bear.
Oh, he's cute. So this is the sweatshirt dweller, right?
Yeah, and it's really hot.
Yes. I don't blame him. It's like,
Oh.
why?
But I got the long bench right here. He's sitting next to me on the bench. We're good. Apparently I disturbed him from his sleep.
He's like giving the side eye. I love it.
Definitely doing a little side eye here.
Oh, yeah.
I know, we woke you up. Look at you, cute.
But he's cute. I left my guys inside. I was going to bring Gavin out, but he's a hot mess right now. Again, going to Maine for 4th of July and swimming poodles, and it's now Friday.
I never, like, I kind of understood what the phrase "shoemaker's children go barefoot" meant. Like, I understood in my brain, but now I understand on like a visceral level.
Oh yeah,
like we were out.
And then I added the third one.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Like one of my neighbors was like, "Oh, he's so great. His groom and everything is just good," because they're not used to seeing poodles. Meanwhile, I gave this dog a rough cut about 2-3 weeks ago.
I never finished it.
And I never finished it.
Hey,
So when
let's
I say,
I got 4 short-coated dogs that went to the groom.
Yeah, that's what I need. But I don't know what I would do with myself. I sometimes question why we work so hard on some haircuts when they say, "Oh my God, did you just groom him?" And I like look and go, "I'm 6 weeks out growing out for a grooming contest. No, I did not just groom him. He looks like a wildebeest." Like, but thank you. Why do we try? But that goes back to time management too.
The good thing about that is we know when that happens, for all you groomers out there, because I know this happens because that happens to Luke all the time, because I travel with Mindy a lot, and he will be half groomed. Like literally, she gave him he may or may not be bathed because he could have just been in the ocean or something. He's half groomed because he's going to be, or grown out because he's going to either be used as a demo dog at the booth or somebody's borrowing him for competition. And people are like, "Is that a show dog? Is he look so beautiful?" And we're just like,
Sure.
hot mess, but thank you.
Like once upon a time. Oh my God. It's, yeah. It's,
You know what? There's something to be said, right? So they went to the groomers. They came home with bandanas, and I could see why some owners get really excited about that, because my dogs came home with matching bandanas. It was pretty cool.
and they're happy and they're cute.
Yeah, and
They're
apparently,
happy, cute, and clean.
Yeah.
Apparently, Chris, Cecil doesn't mind when other people cut his nails.
How badly did you cuss him out? Like, were you happy? What came first? Was it, "I'm happy he behaved and didn't cause another groomer pain," or "You son of a bitch"?
Yeah, I might call him an asshole.
Oh no. That's like Aria. I'm pretty sure anybody else can probably compete with her. And I tested the waters a little bit and let her be a demo dog in Atlanta. And Shannon Tupis had her, and she was like, "She was wonderful." And I like looked at her, and I'm like, "Seriously?" I'm like, "You stress panted for 2 hours at Hershey, and I wanted to like get you off the stage and go cuddle." But like, they do what they want to do when they want to do it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so what shows are you going to this year?
So I was gonna go to Houston. That kind of got derailed, but I will be definitely doing All American. I am definitely doing Hershey, New England, and in between those two, I am going to Groomania in Belgium.
Nice.
Kind of why I haven't been out a lot, because I need to make some money so I can go eat Belgian waffles and fly over there. And I forgot about the waffles till like 2 days ago, and I'm excited.
Not to dissuade you, but they make Belgian waffle makers.
I have one, but
legal to sell them here.
But you can get them on the street corners, made for you, with everything you want. Supposedly, I've been told. If they lie to me, I'll be upset. But
all right.
Here's the other thing
about
too.
Street food.
Chocolate is a little different than what we get out here. Let me tell you something about their chocolate covered cherries.
Oh,
They have
Oh.
that. No, those are filled with brandy. There's a definite alcohol content on them. And I did not realize that when I bought them when I was over in Germany.
Full on tangents happening, but I'm here for it. Go for it.
I love it.
But until I'm on the plane popping them down, and I'm like, I got a buzz going on. What the hell's in these candies?
Okay.
That's a thing.
I will unpopular opinion time. I was in Germany and Switzerland briefly when I was in high school. I actually broke my leg there because it's me. But the chocolate there and Toblerones there, they export, it's different. It is different what they export and what they keep for themselves. And I've never been able to enjoy a Hershey bar again because compared to actual Swiss chocolate and like chocolate you get in Germany and Switzerland that's made there, Hershey's is crap. Fight me.
I know, I'll agree with that. I've had chocolate brought over that I could not tell you where it came from, but I'm excited to try like what I've been calling is real chocolate. I'm like,
oh no,
okay.
It is. It's 100% real chocolate. There's no other way to describe it.
So yeah, that's the splurge show this year, and Gavin gets to fly over with me, and yeah, we're gonna see what happens. So I'm not on the travel team, but we're doing individuals because I figure out how much I want to do this again before I try to get on travel teams.
Okay.
So
well, that's a plan.
Yep, I like it. I think it's a good plan. And on that note, I think that entire segment, no, it wasn't a tangent because we talked about Kayla traveling.
There you go.
So, okay, we'll hit a commercial and then we'll go right back to topic and people wondering why we would just have a random person here. No, she's not random. Promise.
A little random. It's okay.
Are you feeling stuck in your mobile grooming business? Unsure about investing in a grooming vehicle? Or struggling to make your business thrive? Whether you're just starting out or looking to expand, the Mobile Groomers Bible is your ultimate guide to success in the mobile grooming industry. With decades of experience, Mary and Beth, leaders in the field, cover everything from starting a mobile grooming business to planning for the future. Let them help you take your business to the next level. Get your copy at positiveed.com/books. Yay, new commercials.
Yeah. Nice. Good job, Chris.
So, well, thank you. So, Kayla, you and I started out grooming the same way.
Okay.
And if my spying was correct, because whenever we have a guest, I do like a mini Facebook snoop, not like nothing intense, just like brief, like who is this person? What are we talking? What? So it says you started as a bather at corporate.
I did.
Yeah.
I was in like I love it. I was in the fish like section doing like the hamsters and birds and whatever, and like I also rode horses, and the salon manager was trying to hire bathers, and she was like, "We can't find anybody." Everyone's like, "I don't want to get hair on me," and then she saw me and she's like, "Kayla, you'll get dirty." I said, "What?" And she's like, "Hey, you want to be a bather?" And it was something, and yes, she said it exactly the way you heard
You'll
it.
get dirty.
And yeah, you'll get dirty. And so, oh my God, I love her. She still actually works for corporate, and I was like their district mentor. I think it's called mentor now. I don't remember, but she's a hell of a groomer. And I did that. And then I think I was a bather for 6 months and went, yeah, okay, I'll do this. This is fun. I like this.
You know what? Same. I desperately just needed a job, and I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I have a history of having dogs that aren't good for grooming. And at the time I had a Shar-Pei mix who thought that water was like acid, just absolute acid. And I'm like, well, if I can manage to bathe him, I think I can handle this. So, yeah, that's where it all started. And I wanted to talk about that because I know I don't like the word defend, but defend is almost the only correct word because people are so nasty about corporate online and there's so much corporate hate. And it's like, I'm sorry. I love what I do. I'm glad I went down this path. I would not have been able to do it without corporate because I would not have been able to get the training.
Totally agree with that. To where I remember the first trade show I like went to other than New England. Because I don't know if that was my first or second, but I remember they did a World Dog in New Jersey. It wasn't Intergroom.
No,
and I remember
World
going
Dog,
and Joey put it on. It was fun. And I remember I went to one of the vendors and I was like all excited. And here I am like in Academy, like I'm going to be a groomer. This is great. And the person in the booth said to me like, oh, well, where do you work? And I told her like at the time, like I worked at PetSmart. And she literally, as soon as it came out of my mouth, turned to the next person looking at product and completely ignored me from that point forward. And at that point I said, oh, I'm not going to open my mouth again because
they were selling product and they knew you couldn't buy product. Like, okay, I'm not, well, there's no justification for being douchey. Like,
no.
You know, they did it because they're like, you're not buying any product, but I bought product and hit it.
Oh yeah. Well, and this was like brushes and tools. Like I totally could.
Oh wait, it wasn't even like shampoos and shit.
They had that too, but it was like brushes and things and like, yeah, I mean, when you're corporate, they give you the general gist. I used to basically get my stuff from Pet Edge at the time, and you try some stuff, but everyone kind of used the same thing, and it was like eye-opening. I remember just being really excited about it, but there was definitely like I wouldn't go back to corporate now, but when people come to me and they're like, how would you recommend getting a start? It is one of the first things I say, because you're gonna learn what works, what doesn't. You're gonna learn time management. You're gonna kind of see how salons work and function as a team or not, and you can make your mistakes. But on the flip side as well, because I do see a lot of people, they'll groom for a year and they go, I'm gonna open a shop, and they have no customer service. They have no, and it's like, you want them to succeed. You're like, God love you, go do it. But at least at PetSmart, you can go out on the floor, or corporate, I should say corporate. You can go out on the floor, you can talk to people, you can completely make a complete idiot of yourself and then go, well, that didn't go over well. And you get some funny stories from corporate. Right?
Oh, yeah. I really do think some of my best stories are from corporate, because
I got one that's just, I was like thinking about the other day, because a similar scenario actually came up, and I basically told them the story so they would feel better about the mistake they made with their own dog. It was a client. I said, well, I once had this other client. It's been years. I'm like, I'll tell you. And it was how they were applying Frontline. And I'll make it short, but the way they had said it to me, I thought, oh my God, are they feeding it to their dog? Like the way she said, I put it down for my dog. I'm like, you're not. And she goes, well, no. By my front door. I draw a line across the front door on the floor
for the fleas to not cross.
Yep. Yeah.
Because they drew a line in front.
Mm-hmm. I remember thinking, I should have said, well, what about your back door? But I didn't go there. But I was relieved they weren't feeding it. But at the same time, I opened the instructions and showed them, like, no. But you kind of develop there, and I do now, I've done it a little bit and been kind of in the industry a little, and I have no shame in saying where I started because I want people to realize you start anywhere,
Yeah.
and everyone starts somewhere. You just have to keep developing yourself and educating and learn. It's fun.
I got my start at corporate too. So many, if you look at a lot of the industry leaders and ask them where they got their start from, because a couple of things happen when you work corporate. Okay. You get so pissed.
Yes, you learn what not to do through angry moments.
Yes.
And I remember, I'll tell this and then we'll take a break because it's almost break time, commercial time. But the first Christmas I worked, and I was a bather, and I had no choice in my schedule. So I worked Christmas Eve, even though that was a big deal for my family. Yeah. So leading up to Christmas, I was like, this is the best gig ever. This is awesome. I'm busy. I'm making good money. I'm making good tips. I'm getting gifts from my regulars. It's fantastic. And then Christmas Eve hit. And I decided that I wasn't going to work Christmas Eve again if I could at all help it, because the good tipping clients already made their appointments. They were like, a holiday is coming. It comes the same time every year. I'm prepared for this. They knew. They made their appointment in advance, and they wanted a clean dog for Christmas Eve and beyond, and were set. It didn't help that the store I was working at was known as being a little ghetto.
Yeah. Mine was too. Well, sort of. It was close enough.
But the clients we got on Christmas Eve were entitled, demanding, wanted free babysitters, wanted to get in immediately, and didn't want to tip. And I'm like, this is a good lesson.
Yeah.
Have you found that too for when you've had to work Christmas Eve in corporate?
Yes. And it's always, they want you to get as many in. It's always when you have the most matted individual dog and they're like, well, family's coming tomorrow. I just need a bath. And you're like, your dog hasn't been here for 7 months.
For all of your, here is a tip for all of your corporate people. Well in advance if they're going to make you work Christmas Eve. And while I still say nobody can make you do anything, there are times when you need to keep your job. So you're going to be working Christmas Eve. So this weeks in advance. You only book your regular customers. You book yourself solid. And you'll have the following conversations. And it helped that when I did this, there was a decent Jewish population who could care less about, they just needed it for around that time. And I'm like, great, December 24th. They're like, are you sure you want to do that? I'll never forget the client's name, the dog. Are you sure you want to do that? It's Christmas Eve. She was Jewish. She didn't give two farts. And I'm like, yes, because they're making me work. So I want to work on people I know and like. So you book yourself up and have no room for walk-ins because you're able to book it. You push your regulars to Christmas Eve.
Well, here's another thing too. Again, tip for corporate, right? This was an everyday thing when I worked at corporate. I'd get there, I'd open up the shop, store manager would come, he would take out the walk-ins welcome sign, put it in front of the grooming room, and then I would take that sign and put it back in the back.
I used to hide the book until they went digital.
Well, no, I did the same thing too. I mean, there are some things for being back in the Stone Age, right? They could not book without the book. All right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That mysteriously would disappear from the time I left and magically reappear when I got there in the morning.
Oh my God.
So one of the downsides of working at both of the big P's at different times was that I got to go through the transition from book to digital twice in two different salons, years apart.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
No,
interesting.
I left before they went digital, so for that I am really grateful.
Yeah. It was fine until it crashed on the week of Christmas.
Oh, I was going to say it was fine until they started allowing online booking.
That and the call center. I don't know if you were there for the call center.
No, I left right before online booking in the call center. And that was.
I think I was gone. They were testing it in stores, and that was around the time I moved on.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So what preempted the book magically disappearing in the evening is I had 5 slots and they filled it with 3 standard poodles and 2 newfies.
Oh no.
Wait, what?
You know.
5 appointment slots, 3 standard poodles. I'm going to take this story to my grave. 3 standard poodles and 2 not just newfies, 2 large newfies.
I can't even fathom, because it's not like it's a not known breed. Like,
No,
you know,
they don't know.
but
They're the cashiers. They're generally high school students.
yeah,
So really, what do they know about, unless they're like in the industry? Does your average 16, 17, 18-year-old know how long a standard poodle takes to groom?
probably
What
not.
entails a newfie groom? They don't.
Oh,
I couldn't even get mad at them.
oh man.
That's that.
It kind of hurt.
I'm gonna hit a button for third and give us all 30 seconds to recover from that story that I'm sure I've heard before, but it's so hellacious. Like
Yeah.
every time you tell it, I go, "What the fuck?"
No, seriously.
Every time.
And it sounds like a joke, and you're like, no,
No, that happened. No, that would be like on my gravestone. She died because of 3 standard poodles.
and 2 newfies.
Oh,
Hanvi engineering isn't just for mobile groomers. I have loved my Hanvi equipment for years before I even thought of getting a mobile van, and I wouldn't want to groom without my Bathing Beauty and hair vac. With every piece of equipment in their van and outside of it having its own QR code linked to troubleshooting tips and fixes, these low-maintenance workhorses turn potential roadblocks into mere speed bumps. Check them out yourself at hanvi.com. I'm making a note, Mary, because you need one of those styrofoam tombstones to decorate your house for Halloween. And it just needs to say death by 3 standard poodles and 2 newfies.
Oh man, that's good.
Yeah, and I'm just going to preempt this. No, Angie, I actually do not need that.
Yes, Angie, she 100% needs that. I will take credit for this one. This one was my idea. Unlike, I'm going to have words with Amanda at Super Zoo.
You think she's going to care?
I know, that's what's going to make it even funnier. She's just going to laugh her ass off at me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
You know that story?
What was that?
I don't know if I've actually heard that one, and I totally listened before.
So let me tell you.
That one I missed.
My husband was going in for knee surgery, full replacement. All right. Chris thought it would be really funny that if she contacted my daughter and said, you know what, it'd be really funny if your dad had a bell so he could summon me.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
In my defense, it was really funny.
but and my daughter, being who she is, got on. That thing was ordered before she got off.
Oh no. By the time I messaged her back and said, no, that was a joke. You should never do that. She went, it's already ordered.
Here's the thing. I was never even mad at my daughter. I couldn't get mad at her because she'd chip off the old block. Who I was mad at because
she was mad at me.
Because she may not have thought of that until someone put the bug in her ear about it. And then she's like, oh wow, that's actually really funny. I'm gonna go do that.
Is that why you put up with my shenanigans? Because I remind you of your children?
Probably.
Okay.
So I'll take that I'll take that
now,
for
did he use the bell?
Oh no, before. No, he didn't use it while he was actually having surgery. He just thought it was pretty funny too.
Oh.
But his recovery might have taken longer had he used it.
Yeah, because you would have shoved him down some stairs.
Well, then you'd need a tombstone.
See?
Full circle.
See?
I mean, I'm pro tombstone, but that's me.
Anyway, so Kayla, how does one go from corporate to making groom team? Because most people see that as a jump. I'm not saying that it is.
I mean, there were a few years between that, but so I was at PetSmart for about 11 years. So what actually sparked a lot of it, other than they restructured and cons were outweighing the pros of staying, and I had a month shy 17-year-old husky that was diagnosed with cancer, and she was my only dog, and I was like, I'm gonna need reasons to go do things. This dog had been with me, a long time, and she's wonderful. But anyway, so I was home and I just thought, you know what, I'm on Pro Groomer, I'm looking at all this stuff. I found a seminar at a shop that was literally 5 minutes from my house, and it was Julie Wilkins' salon. Had no idea she worked there. Had no idea we lived literally around the corner from each other. I ended up messaging, and I think the message was, I'm just a PetSmart groomer, so do I have any business coming? And they basically reached out to me and they were like, absolutely come, you'll have fun, you'll learn. No, it's great, it's for everyone. So I went, had a great time. Julie offered me a job at the end of it, and was hiring. And I said, yeah, and I basically said to her I'm not good enough to work for you. And she hired me anyway. And she said, well, I'd teach you. So I was with her for 7 years, and she got me my first poodle. I pretty much piggybacked with her, and most of the reason I'm where I'm now is because of her. So, she was on groom team. She did the whole thing. She's judged recently, but pretty much apprenticed under her in a way, and went to dog shows with her as her assistant, and started showing my own dog. And I wanted a dog to do agility and maybe a grooming contest, maybe. And the breeder was Penny Harney, and she's like, well, I really want a litter out of her. And that translated to, well, she means you need to show her. And I'm like, well, I guess I can try. When she's like, well, I'll help you. So I had the phone call with her, got the dog. She ended up liking me, so I was happy about that. She sent me Aria, who is the one that I was talking about that got the bath at Kathy's yesterday. And I showed her with Julie and learned a lot and basically got hooked. But I think from just doing dog shows on weekends and then just doing a lot more scissored trims, things like that, in Julie's shop, it just kind of spiraled from there. And I did a couple shows, little ones. I would go to Hershey, Intergroom, the ones around, the ones that are drivable from New England that aren't insane.
Not that Hershey is a little show.
But I mean, a little, only single digit hours of driving shows, I guess is a better way to say it. Because that's definitely not a little show. you know. So I just kind of started doing that and just haven't stopped really. So I was there 7 years this year. I'm here. I ended up breeding Aria because that was what Penny had wanted, and I kept Gavin. And then when COVID shutdown happened, I got super into education because I mean, I don't sit still well at all. So I basically raised him, trained him, because what else do you do? And pretty much did all the virtual contests and got hooked. And I think just keeping at it and developing myself, and then kind of came out of COVID shutdown. So it was 7 years from PetSmart to making Groom Team. And it just was constant, like, if you go to a dog show 2 weekends of a month, you're spraying up like 5 times. And if you help a handler, you're doing a lot of it. And I think it was just doing it and just falling in love with all of it. And yeah.
And what you described, it doesn't matter if you start out at corporate or a little shop, because I know people who've done similar things at little shops, well, not similar things, who've gotten their training at small shops, but they've been content with where they were. They're like, this is fine for me, and they don't go and do anything else. So the same path you took to get where you are today, which is education and getting out there and working with the breeder and getting out there and doing things. You don't have to work for a small shop to do that.
No. And honestly, most handlers want help.
Yeah.
Just recently I finally had a couple people like just message me on a whim and say, hey, do you do lessons? I'm like, absolutely. Like there's, I think, a lot. And that was I had no idea even Julie lived that right there. And I've met, I find out Suze Echo lives in Massachusetts and all these people.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, the resources are out there. And even if they're not near you, like I've sent pictures to other, competitors or judges, like sometimes overseas, and go, hey, like, you have a minute to critique this, or hey, I'm struggling with, this area of this trim, and I like your grooms. Like, can you give me some feedback? It thankfully with the internet, you can improve yourself so many ways. You can work by yourself and still improve yourself. And I know self-taught groomers that right now, I won't name drop, but I'm pretty sure she's self-taught and just bumped into Open at PetQuest. She's a mobile groomer too. So I don't want to name drop because I think I'm right, but she's mostly self-taught. And
there are quite a few who started out that way. Why I decided to give him the loud toy, I don't know.
He's enjoying it.
I thought it would keep him quiet. Anyway, sorry.
Anyway, we have a rubber Kong in here, like the bone, and there's the squeaky ones. And then I found out there's a crinkle one. So now my dogs get the crinkle ones. We're in the van because when it starts squeaking it and I'd have a dog on my table, I'm just like, no, stop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no squeakies. But yeah, I mean, you can start anywhere. And
yeah. Oh,
stick with
absolutely. Where you start is with that desire in your heart to do better, to do your job and do even better. And button time, pretty sure. Okay, I love my Evolution swivel shears, and you even know that these customizable shears come in non-swivel as well. But did you know that they're the only ones I've been trusting my sharpening with for around 15 years, and that's how we met? What? You haven't tried their sharpening yet? If so, send in your next batch of sharpening and you'll get one shear sharpened for free with a $75 order just for telling them where you heard about them. Your shears and blades will thank you. Although I'm pretty sure it's longer than 15 years by now. I have to ask.
Who, for what?
For that I've been using Mo and Abby to sharpen my stuff too.
Oh, it's got to be more than 15 years because the first time I met you, it was at All American.
And I was behind the Evolution booth.
You were behind the Evolution booth. And that's way more than 15. I've only been to All American once.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Now I have to redo all of their commercials too. I mean, I've been having to redo them anyway.
Just write that under the to-do list where it says order tombstone and rewrite evolution.
You get
Listen. How are you going to get it to me? All right. I have no room in my suitcases at Colorado to bring anything home. Just saying.
Well, you know what? It's a real shame that there are no like companies or even something that the government does where you could wrap up a parcel and put your address on it and give someone money and they take it to
So
you.
the question then, Bear, why would you pay someone to do that on top of it?
Because it's fun.
Because USPS, UPS, FedEx, they all exist. And I would be doing my part for the economy because those people need jobs, Mary.
Okay.
I'm patriotic AF.
Okay, so moving along, Chris.
Moving it along, I'm going to take that away from him any second because it's getting loud. Do we want? Why? Thank you. Yes, this was the thing I was going to take from you. Do we want to do our product review at the very last segment?
Yes, we should do the product review last.
I have a product review, Kayla. It's a fun one.
I'm excited.
It's not directly grooming related.
We discussed it, which the episode hasn't aired yet, but we discussed it last episode.
Well, it will have aired by the time they hear this one. So just
Yes.
last week, you heard us discuss.
Well, Kayla doesn't know that.
Oh, that's true.
But I will eventually.
But she will.
I had a client today thinking I was talking to myself, and I was actually listening to this. Oh no, I was listening to Women Petpreneurs. But oh yeah, she's like, "Are you talking to yourself?" I'm like, "Podcast, podcast."
Podcast on the nice speakers. Oh, so how was your first summer in a mobile van? Speaking of things we were discussing before we hit record.
So it's honestly, the views are wonderful.
How is that summer in a van?
Perfect. I love it. I'm learning how to. It was good until the heat wave, and I've had to get a little creative because I don't have a generator. I am inverter and battery, which I love. I absolutely love it.
I'm looking at the layout of your van. You're in one of the new wagon tails then that's inverter powered?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm in a quantum. I'm in the little van, the little quantum for like one groomer. And I don't know how to flip the screen, but I'll show you. Yeah, I don't know how to flip the screen. Here, I'll do this. Little and cute and mostly clean.
Yay!
I don't know.
That's about the size of the van I've been in. That's their basic little one groomer van.
Yeah, it's little. The only thing, I'm finding I have to be very careful about how many big dogs I have in a day with the humidity, just because running the AC and the dryer at the same time. But I've only had one mishap this summer. And it was mostly my fault because I should have double checked. But there's two plugs, one's for AC, one's for main. It was not plugged into main. So I got up in the morning with a full day of 6 dogs and 36% of my battery. We got through the day and I learned. But working on the coast helps because what I've been doing, where the handle to the door and the handle on the wall, I'll tie a collar there so it becomes like a hotel door chain in a way. So if I'm on the coast, I just unclick the door. So technically the door is slightly ajar, but the breeze comes in, which I can only do that with very specific dogs because, but it doesn't actually open the door. Like you can't see that it's open, but it's enough that it just lets air in.
It's cracked and it's
Yeah.
no one's gonna just open it.
Yeah, it's secured, so no one can open. Like you can't even see that it's open. My van will tell me the door's open. But no, I've actually really liked it. I'm still getting used to now that people are out and about. I kind of wish I took some people's recommendations of not putting the phone number on the side of the van, because it'll be quiet all day and I will drive to my next stop and the phone does not stop. And I'm like, oh, but my voicemail does say I will get back to you at the end of the day, not while I'm grooming or driving. So at least if I'm driving and they call me, they know I'm driving.
All right. So, yeah, when my daughter was going to Yale in New Haven, so when she would either be going to start the semester, leaving the semester, going to an apartment, whatever, the van is great for like hauling boxes and stuff. Okay. So I'm driving, I'm in New Haven now. And so there's this woman in the car next to me, and I could see her dialing a number, and she's calling me because all of a sudden my phone rings, and the woman is pointing to the phone, pick up. You know?
But you're driving. Why is what?
We were stopped at a stoplight.
It's still
Yeah,
little
you're
creepy.
still not supposed to, you know.
You know?
My favorite is the mad dash down the side street after you, like an ice cream truck. I've had 2 of those, and
Okay.
the woman, it's hysterical. I'm like, and yes, I did pull over and gave her my card and continued because.
And the banging on the door and the trying to wave at me through the windows. With their dog, can you groom my dog?
Okay,
That
so
hasn't happened yet. I'm like shocked it hasn't happened yet.
all right, so I'm at the apartment building for my daughter, right? And they're hauling boxes from my van into the apartment building. And this guy comes running out with his dog going, "Oh, thank God you're here."
Excuse me?
Yes.
Cool.
And I'm like, no. You like not see all the boxes in here?
Did he please tell me he actually had an appointment with a mobile groomer and just
He
different
saw
mobile?
me from the window and came running out with his dog.
Don't
Pay
you
for
love?
effort?
What was that?
He's a little dog.
I'm like, A for effort, I guess.
No, there was no water in the van because we had boxes in there.
Yeah.
You couldn't if you tried. You couldn't if you wanted to. Yeah, I was out on Sunday and I saw my phone ring and it was a name, and I'm like, I'm at the mall with daughter and grandbaby, like family outing on a Sunday. I'm like, not answering. The person called, left a message, texted, and called again. Like he may have called a total of 3 times. And I'm like, I have to respond to this text that I'm closed because I can't, I don't want him to keep blowing up my phone. But yeah.
It hasn't been too bad though. It's been, honestly, now that things don't look dead and raining or muddy and things are green and nice and blue outside, it is nice to have like a different view from the office per se every day. Because it's just, it gets monotonous when you do the same thing over and over again. So,
Yeah, but you know what? As a mobile groomer, I mean, I knew in Connecticut, I knew where all the state parks are, where the lakes are, where I could have lunch.
mm-hmm.
Okay. Had some really nice spots.
Yeah.
I think that was the best part of being a mobile groomer.
I love it. So now I've gotten much better about scheduling where I can, looking where around I'll be and making sure I do stop for lunch.
Well, not only that, it's pretty, pretty quickly you figure out, you know what, if I'm in this town for today, there was one town I went to because they had a chocolate shop there. That was
I've heard about this chocolate shop.
Okay, new new question for mobile groomers every time we have a mobile groomer guest on, especially if they're new. Well, no, if they're not, I'll say how long did it take you to? But have you found your favorite potty spots yet? Like your favorite stores or clients that you're like, they're never home. I
definitely
poop there.
know. I don't know my favorite, but I definitely know where, like, which McDonald's is good, which, you know, where there's stops where, you know, the dunks are everywhere here. So
Well, that's true. You live in like absolute
I
Dunkin'
live in,
land.
there are, I probably have the number wrong, but I'm pretty sure 6 within 10 minutes of me. Probably more. No, 10 minutes, it's definitely more, but you know, it's, so that helps. And I actually found one fast food place that has, there's no clearance limit for their drive-through.
Ooh, nice.
And it took me a while to figure that out. And I kept going in, and the guy finally politely said to me, you know, you could drive your van through the drive-through here. I was like, I can. He's like, there's no overhead at all. I'm like, oh, well. So I guess my answer is not yet.
Okay.
I have gotten pretty good strategies for when I can't find a place to stop. You learn that pretty quick.
Look, all I'm going to say is I used to judge harder. Now I don't judge anymore, and we're not going to talk about some things.
After I will send you a funny reel that Sophia Staples made. It is on Instagram. It's wonderful.
Look, I'm just saying you don't want anything going through your drain or your tanks. You don't want to, you can't bleach out those tanks enough. But I find on Wagon Tails, and I am a handy gal, but I find on Wagon Tails the garbage cans, how they open is quite interesting. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything.
But yeah, on that note,
I have not done that, but
But it's in your head.
Now I'm like, okay. Unless it tilts shut at the wrong time, then you might have a problem.
Then you're not doing it right.
Yeah. But yeah.
I mean, oh goodness, where's the next button? Oh, look, our last commercial. I love being a house call groomer, but I hate doing laundry or worrying about asking my clients for fresh towels. Raypet has solved those problems for me with the Wet Pet disposable towel. Taking up much less space than traditional cotton towels and easy to wring out and reuse, these super soft, comfy, absorbent towels eliminate any cross-contamination concerns between pets, and now their new smaller washcloth size can even help those sensitive eye areas. Great for cleaning out wrinkles gently and thoroughly. Need to keep water bowls for your clients on hand that are easy to disinfect, but hate all the room traditional clanky metal bowls take up? Or just have a very active pet? Their collapsible silicone bowl comes with an aluminum D-ring hook that can be attached to your pet's leash or anywhere else in your van for easy storage. You can get one by itself or in their handy travel kit, along with a set of 3 tick removers and 1 small wet pet towel. So stop by their website to check it out, raypet.net, and tell them the Traveling Groomers sent you.
Well, that was kind of appropriate.
You know what?
Yeah.
It was because that's one of the major benefits of being house called. You were all, I mean, do you want to in every house because of awkwardness? No, but there's one, there's right there. They're right there. The amount of times I have taken a wet dog, picked it up, popped it in the bathtub, went, stay there.
Stay there and don't watch.
Stay there, don't watch. Um, it's a thing that happens. Although I have one house that they're the loveliest family, and the only reason I try not to use the restroom there is because it's one of the older houses, so it's like right off the kitchen. So it's like 2 feet from where I work. It's super convenient, but there's not a door.
Mm.
Like there's a big curtain. So there is a curtain, and it's angled like nobody's going to accidentally walk past or anything. It's just,
Yeah.
if it were my house, or I wouldn't even think twice about it, but and I could see why there's no door, because it's in like a corner area. Yeah. So even house call, you know where the good bathrooms are. All right, so Kayla, are you ready for the product review I have?
Yes.
Well, it's for two things. So I'm very tired.
It's okay.
Kickstarter. I went on Kickstarter. I was mixing backer kick in my head, and I was like, I backstarted.
It's okay.
Because sometimes when you're prepping for shows and grooming full time and things, your brain shuts off. So this is the Tacti Clip, the dog. No, you know what? Here, pull it out of his hair and not mine. So it's basically the basic metal hair clip with some added features. And I actually used it and I tested out some of the features. And the nail file works. It's got a little nail file there. See the little crosshatch.
That's cool.
This saw blade, it doesn't really do much, but at the same time, if it's in your hair, do you really want it to do a whole lot? Like, you don't want it to be super sharp. So I'm like, I guess. The only real sharp bit is this little razor tip. So I guess in a absolute pinch, you can stab something with it. Oh, can I cut paper with it? Oh, sort of. You can kind of cut with it. But it's a cute hair clip. And my favorite feature that I haven't used yet is it's got like a teeny, it's about 1.5 inches. It's got a little ruler on one side. So if people are like, I want 1 inch of hair, and the dog has 1/4 inch of hair, that you can like go, you know what? I don't think that's going to work because and like actually hold it up to the dog's hair. So you always have a ruler on you, which I think is kind of neat. I mean, it's not why I bought it. Every so often I impulse buy on Kickstarter, but my favorite bit is one of the add-ons. And that is, you see how cute these earrings are?
Yeah.
Right? They're kind of cute. Yeah. They're basic. They're not. But there's something I would never wear grooming because, oh my God, a dog's going to pull on it. They're magnetic.
That's cool.
So they have this thing that screws in to your ear, and it's a flat back. So you can sleep in it. And even without the dangly bit, it's like, okay, look, I've made an effort. And I actually tested this out over the weekend with said grandbaby because she's in the ears are fun stage and the grabbing things. So my glasses were not safe, but this actually was okay. Like I thought she was gonna like rip it off and swallow it quickly or something. but she tugged and I wasn't worried about it ripping out of my ear. Because if I know she tugged harder, it'd just come out. And it was fine.
Oh.
The only thing I'm not sure about, although I used it, you see this little bit of a thing? I don't know. I can't really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry for people watching. We'll put a link or somewhere. I tack this behind because I don't think it looks good as an earring. It looks a little weird in front as an earring. But this is a baby screwdriver.
Is it really?
It really is. Check that out. That's my baby flathead that I 100% used to adjust my shears. And wait, there's more. This one's a Phillips. So I feel like extra prepared for things now.
That actually, okay, the screwdrivers are interesting.
Right, the screwdrivers are interesting. Initially I thought, okay, that this was my screwdriver. So I'm curious to find how scratch resistant this is, because I think for a larger flathead, this would be more useful. But I also don't want to scratch it up, so I don't know. I'll find out. This is me. I am positive at some point I will use it as a screwdriver, just because the amount of random things I have attempted to use as hammers and screwdrivers.
Oh, yeah.
It's a thing. It happens. So no, overall, I like it.
That's interesting.
And it
I
says
like
it's safe on hair. And I don't know, it's not awful, but it's still a metal clip. So it's probably about as safe as any metal clip this style.
Yeah.
You know, like don't sleep with it. This bit is definitely not really cutting your hair, because you can see this is a little pointy. You might be able to poke somebody's eye out with that if you really needed to.
Oh.
But I love that I can wear dangly earrings at work
And adjust shears.
and adjust shears.
Works.
That was fun. That was fun.
I think that's the best part for me. I'm like,
Huh.
Well,
Right?
there's also when oh God, this has been 5 years out of grooming. When the latch for the clipper.
Oh, that's the
can you
worst.
like hear it snap closed as you think about it?
Yeah. Could hear the snap in my head.
I bet you could use this for that too. I bet you could use your tacti clip to pry open the. Oh, and there's a little, this is supposedly a wire stripper. Not that we're using that in our grooming day-to-day lives, I hope, unless we're super electrically inclined. But this little bit here is a little wire stripper.
So that's fun.
It was very fun. Very, very fun product. Not directly grooming related, but I'm totally using it for grooming. And I'm totally going to wear these to a show and be like, oh, Abby, you need a screwdriver? Like, you need a baby one? Just rip it
Give
off my
both and
ear.
say Phillips or Flathead.
Phillips or flathead?
Well, she's going to bring them to Colorado, correct?
I am, because I kind of have to for further testing, because I want to see that this magnet is strong enough that I'm not going to lose it on the airplane. And after being tugged on by baby Gia and not coming off, I think it might survive it. And this is supposedly TSA approved.
Huh.
So we'll find out.
Yes, we will find out.
Oh, fun.
All right. right. So what grooming show are you at next?
All American. I'll be in Chicago.
Nice. I will see you at All American.
Yay! I am looking forward to deep dish pizza, which isn't really a pizza. It's a
not
cheese
a pizza.
pie.
Like, no, it's lovely. It's lovely. You're look, Chicago, as far as I'm concerned, is in the Midwest.
It's a cheese pie, but it's delicious.
It's a casserole. It's a casserole.
Yeah. Then Evan can get his Italian beef. So I do like that show. I've only been once, but we're going back.
Well, I was in Chicago when
Knocked over my water jug.
H.H. Backer was a thing. I'm really dating myself, aren't I?
A little bit.
Sorry.
You know, but I love that show. I love the H.H. Backer show. I'm really sad that they folded. Hey, can we do a quick Ricky story before we end up?
Yes, and I remember Jerry Schinberg and his turtle hat.
Yes. So Ricky was my golden.
Okay.
He was my first demo dog to go with first aid classes. So Richard and Ricky was sweet. He loved everybody. He would do anything for you. So we're in Chicago and it's cold because it's October. Okay. And all of a sudden the fire alarm goes off in the hotel. And the hotel's like, I don't know, 30 stories high. Whatever. All right. So, of course, we can't take the elevators because the smoke alarm went off, the fire alarm went off. Yeah, so we and Ricky literally was shoving people out of his way to get out of the building. This dog who would do anything for anyone. He's like, there's a fire in the building. Move, get out of the way. Mom, I'm making a path for you. Keep up.
I'm picturing George Costanza shoving children out of his way because it was fire alarm.
That was Ricky. And we get out and we're in our pajamas, okay? Because it was like 2:00 in the morning and it was cold. We have to sit outside in the cold for the fire department to clear it.
Oh.
Yeah, it turns out somebody was smoking in the hotel room.
Oh.
Like, can we string this guy up? Got a little New York justice going on here. Sure, there was like some might have been some Chicago justice going on there. But making me sit outside in my jammies.
Oh man.
Yeah. Did he also have to be outside in his jammies?
At least he had a fur coat.
You actually knew who it. Oh no, not Ricky, the dude with the cigarette.
I have no idea who he was.
I'm like, how do you know he had a fur coat? Wait.
I'm thinking he stood there with all of you when it was him.
No, Ricky's my golden retriever.
Yes,
Yeah.
Ricky.
Yeah,
Okay, we're caught up.
You're caught up with the story. Keep up, Chris. Keep up.
I'm like,
Listen,
I'm going. Wait a
It's been a
minute.
long week.
I want to be seen if it would be
Well, the hotel was not identifying who this person was.
Deny.
I would have been snuggling my dog.
Yep. All right. So amidst all of that digression and general groomer chat, there were 100% lessons on it doesn't matter where you start. If you want to get somewhere, you get there. And
yep.
Yeah.
We all start somewhere. And most of us will help each other.
We do.
Yep.
We do.
Yep.
And if you can at all help it, don't work on Christmas Eve.
No.
Just saying.
No. Or the week after Christmas.
Or the week after Christmas. Yeah. All right. So we've totally gone over time, I think. Yep.
Probably.
Yep, by a solid 20 minutes. But that's okay. We had fun and we hope you guys did too. Kayla, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. This is fun.
Yeah, it's always fun.
It's fun.
Oh, and Mary,
Yes.
Hershey Honors are coming up. The Barkley Honors Awards.
That's
The
right.
ballots are going to be coming out any minute. What have you?
Okay, I'll take it from here. Barkley coming out. The Traveling Groomers would normally like the nomination. We want the medal.
Yep.
Okay.
Kind of.
And here's the thing. I won't be at Hershey. All right. So
You know it's gonna happen.
no, I'm just worried about Chris getting the medal and I never seeing it.
Oh, you'll see it with your eyeballs.
The next podcast in a Zoom meeting. Look at this.
Look at it. Mary's like, yeah, well, why mail it to me? I'll mail you like pictures of it.
Just take a casting of it and then just send her that. It's fine. It's fine.
But do we want to say something like, if we actually win, because I didn't get a chance to do this last year because I was injured and we didn't win. But you remember those hula hoop things for weight loss where it's like this thing you strap to your waist and it's got a weight and a line on it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
We know what you're talking about. We know where it's going, but continue.
So if we win, I may live stream me doing that in an evening gown.
That would be awesome. You should definitely.
I'm not going to do it on stage because, let's have some class.
Oh, do it on stage.
Yeah, do it on stage.
Do you know how heavy the weight at the end of that thing is?
It'd be funny.
It's, a little heavy, and I would not be able to be anywhere near the mic. And yeah.
We'll get like a sound boom and just hold it here.
So I will do that in an evening dress and live stream it if we win, while saying, "Hey, Mary." Kayla, I bet you right now there is a 50% chance that Mary arranges something and shows up at Hershey again.
No, that's not gonna. I might arrange something, but that won't be it.
We can do the Sheldon thing with her on a tablet and just her face wailing in on stage. Please tell me you know the reference.
Yeah. And then I'll just hold it right up against and go, Mary, this is as close as you're getting to it.
That's to make sure she doesn't get mugged in the parking lot. That's all.
Listen, we know you're not above tackling me to get your.
Yeah,
she does.
To get a cell phone back while I'm injured.
But you got the hair clips now. You have self-defense.
Got the hair
and screwdrivers.
Yes. The screwdrivers are too little to do anything to. Wait, can I put? Yeah.
You could poke just. But there's that sharp part of the hair clip.
There's that sharp part of the hair clip.
And it's TSA. Oh man.
Through TSA. So you know what? The price of the Hershey Awards banquet keeps going up, but I think the shenanigans might be worth it. There might be shenanigans.
I mean, there's always shenanigans.
No, yes. But I'd like some legal plausible deniability about the level of the shenanigans. Just saying. All right. Anyway, we were wrapping up 10 minutes ago.
Oops.
Kayla, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be here. We appreciate it.
Of course. Anytime. This was fun. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, guys. We mean it this time. We'll see you next week. Safe travels. Well, that was fun. But now it's time to head home. We hope you enjoyed listening as much as we enjoyed chatting with you. If there are any topics you'd like us to discuss or guests you want to see join us on this crazy road trip of ours, let us know in the Traveling Groomers Facebook page. Don't forget to thank our sponsors. And see you next week, guys. Safe travels.